Hello and welcome to the second broadcast of the summer 2005 edition of Brooklyn Cable News. I'm Hila Levy.
And I'm Amy Celestin. Brooklyn Cable News is a production of the Broadcast Journalism Program of the TV Radio Department of Brooklyn College.
Well, we lost. The Olympic Committee in Singapore says London, not New York, will be the site of the 2012 Summer Olympics. That met with cheers from a jubilant crowd in London's Trafalgar Square. BCN Nigel Andrews reports the Big Apple's hopes were dashed early in the voting when New York failed to pick up critical committee votes after Moscow was eliminated.
The city of New York will not participate in the next round.
Now that New York has been eliminated from the 2012 Olympics, we asked people in downtown Brooklyn for their reaction.
I feel like they lost the bid because New York City has just been under so much trauma after the events of 9/11. They were trying to use that as a catalyst to put them forward in the Olympics. I think that was a bad idea to begin with. Just the wrong place, the wrong time, I think. Then on top of that, they're trying to build a stadium just to solicit a bid. I think that was a bad idea.
Well, it was rather sad. It would have been of economic use to the city, but I think it was a lost cause to begin with. I think there was too much contention about the West Side Stadium, which I had mixed feelings about. And hopefully the city administration can get its act together, give it another shot for 2012 or the one after that.
Somewhat disappointed. I know there's a lot of people who are afraid that bringing the Olympics here is going to be a hassle with the traffic and a hassle for the lifestyle. But we're in New York, and we can handle just about anything that comes here. Why not? The work has been put through, the ground has been laid. Why not?
Reported for downtown Brooklyn, this is Nigel Andrews for Brooklyn Cable News.
MTA officials today are receiving Bruce Ratner's bid for the proposed Nets basketball stadium in Brooklyn. It would be built over the MTA's Atlantic rail yards. There is no set date for their decision, but planners say the development may also transform the surrounding Brooklyn skyline. 6 new skyscrapers will be used for housing and businesses. They may also be the tallest buildings in Brooklyn. Adam Wellickson went to Prospect Heights to report on Ratner's efforts to get residents and businesses on his side.
The New Jersey Nets are now one step closer to becoming the Brooklyn Nets. Real estate developer and owner of the Nets, Bruce Ratner, will build a new arena for the team on the site of the MTA's bus and rail yards in Prospect Heights between Flatbush and Atlantic Avenues. It will hold 19,000 people and is expected to be finished in 2008, but many local residents and businesses will have to be uprooted to make room for the project.
So we really don't know where we're going to go, where we're going to move, or what's really going to happen.
And we've been living here for a lot of years, and it's going to take a lot of people from their houses who've been living here a long time, longer than everybody here. And I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's right.
While some think they have a lot to lose, others feel it's an opportunity to be gained.
I think it's a great idea for them to build an arena here because it's a lot of the youth around here that all they're doing is selling drugs. They got nothing to do or whatever. And by the arena coming here, it gives a lot of the youth a job, you know, to get a lot of us off the streets so we won't have to do nothing negative. Plus, it'll bring more money into the community, which in turn will build the community up.
One big reason for the optimism is that members of 8 downtown Brooklyn organizations have also just signed a legally binding community benefits agreement with Ratner's development company. This means 50% of all 4,500 new apartments will be set aside for low and middle income residents. Priority will be given to locals for an estimated 8,500 new jobs. Women and minority-owned businesses will also receive 30% of the construction contract money. From Vanderbilt and Pacific all the way through Flatbush and Atlantic Avenue, the new Nets Arena is slated to be the biggest project in Brooklyn history. At $3.5 billion, will outspend the new Yankee and Shea stadiums combined. I'm Adam Wellickson in Prospect Heights for Brooklyn Cable News.
Despite steady opposition from local residents, IKEA's plan to build a megastore in the Erie Basin section of Red Hook, Brooklyn has cleared a major hurdle. Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Karen Smith rejected arguments that traffic from the store would be bad for the environment. IKEA has purchased the 22-acre former New York shipyard property for more than $31 million. It plans to make the store the largest IKEA worldwide.
Franchise stores such as Starbucks and McDonald's seem to be on almost every block. But Adam Wellickson reports one Brooklyn neighborhood is trying to break the trend.
The upscale Fort Greene neighborhood are in an uproar over the proposed construction of a Blimpie franchise sandwich shop on Lafayette Avenue. It will be located on a block studded with bistros, brownstones, and small mom-and-pop shops. One local resident feels Blimpie will taint the neighborhood's classy flavor.
Blimpie's is fine for downtown Brooklyn, but we would really like to see something more creative here, more in keeping with the neighborhood.
Ralph Jawad owns a bodega across from the proposed Blimpie site and even accepts packages and holds spare keys for the neighbors.
We want something with no name on it. That's it.
The Blimpie company does not feel the store will have a negative effect on the community. In a statement to the New York Daily News, Blimpie attorney Joel Schweidel said, quote, "Yes, we are a chain, but we don't think of ourselves as fast food. We make fresh-made sandwiches ready to order," end quote. Despite opposition by many local residents, it still seems like the Blimpie will open at the end of the summer. I'm Adam Wellickson in Fort Greene for Brooklyn Cable News.
Still to come, is the N line safe? I'll have a report. Bridge safety problems in Sheepshead Bay. Will Bailey's Fountain in Grand Army Plaza ever work? And an underwater trip to the Caribbean to the aquarium. These stories and more when we come back.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about him. It's so much fun, whether we're talking man to man.
You don't need to be bigger than life to be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad.
Hey, kid, what's shaking? Besides me.
Dad, there's something wrong with the fridge.
What? Ooh, a snack.
Got energy hogs in your house? Now you have the power to do something about them. Log on to energyhog.org. Because nobody likes an energy hog.
Hey, they got Charlie! Yeah, who cares?
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please, help give them a time to remember.
Medical Centers has now officially filed for bankruptcy. The move will keep 5 New York City hospitals in the system open. Despite protests and a march to keep St. Mary's Hospital in Brooklyn operating, it will be the only one in St. Vincent's system to close, unless the State Department of Health grants a last-minute $40 million bailout package. The long-expected move is protection against St. Vincent's more than $1 billion debt.
Passengers on the N train now have a double reason to complain. What used to be an eyesore is now also a safety hazard. A deteriorating concrete wall just 5 feet away from the N line is in serious danger of collapsing, sending tons of dirt and debris onto the tracks. The 18-foot-high wall along the northbound N tracks, south of the New Utrecht Avenue station in Bensonhurst, developed cracks and shifted toward the local track. The Transit Authority quickly hired a contractor to shore up the wall. Temporary pegs are keeping the wall from giving way. Train service is uninterrupted, but many passengers are worried about the condition of their station.
Where they're doing the construction, it's not too safe at all, no.
They're gonna fall back down then. And if that falls on somebody or it falls on the train, then they're responsible.
TA spokesman Charles Seaton released a statement saying, "If there was danger of collapse, we wouldn't be running trains." TA workers at the station were unwilling to comment on the situation.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even know they were doing it. They don't tell us too much.
When asked about dangerous conditions, transit employees claim to be unaware of the situation. Construction workers along the N tracks refuse to comment on the wall, even though it's obvious major construction is underway at this Bensonhurst station. This is just the latest development pointing to the continuing decline of this subway line. After the MTA scrapped plans to rehabilitate the N line in Brooklyn, a city council investigation revealed that subway platforms and stations in some of the poorest neighborhoods are not kept as well as those in more well-to-do sections of the city. Among those most neglected, 5 N stations in Brooklyn.
I lived there since I was 2 years old on Kings Highway. The stations are never going to get fixed. The only thing they probably do is if there's graffiti on the station, they paint it off. But the way they look, if you put them on the east side, they'll be fixed like mansions and castles probably.
The MTA says that by the end of July, trains will run under rods that will brace the retaining wall in place.
Peevish, pedestrians no longer have to find another route around the collapsed Sheepshead Bay footbridge. Shamina Islam was at the site of the new bridge.
Pedestrians in Sheepshead Bay now have a temporary footbridge. Shortly after the original walkway collapsed in late May, the bridge was put up. It goes over the bay, connecting Emmons Avenue and Shore Boulevard. The temporary footbridge, made from barges and gangplanes, has metal on it, something that worries some people.
The main risk that I heard about is the possibility of lightning attacking people on the temporary bridge. And it appears that the city didn't look at that early enough and was only alerted to that after having designed the temporary bridge.
There are other dangers. One local resident told Brooklyn Cable News that the sidewalk near the original bridge is collapsing. Back in 1973, Mayor John Lindsay observed the damages of the original bridge, noted in a New York Times article. 32 years after the collapse, the city's Economic Development Corporation, which maintains the bulkhead, now plans to fix the bridge in months. Why the city waited decades to finally fix the troubled bridge is a question residents of Brooklyn are still asking.
The question now is 32 years a long enough wait to have the necessary footbridge and seawall along Sheepshead Bay repaired? We'll just have to wait and see how long a few months really is. In Sheepshead Bay, I'm Shamina Islam reporting for Brooklyn Cable News.
Despite a $1.5 million overhaul, the famed Bailey Fountain in Grand Army Plaza is still not working. The fountain, a popular wedding photo spot, reopened last summer after a 3-year renovation, but it closed just 1 month later. The Parks Department has hired an engineering firm to fix the fountain's overactive spigots. Spending the day in the park should be a delight, but this may not be the case for some Brooklynites. Adam Wellickson has more.
Brooklyn's public parks are gaining quite a reputation for dilapidation and disrepair. An independent watchdog group called New Yorkers for Parks has just released its annual report card grading the condition of your neighborhood parks. The group blames the failing state of Brooklyn's parks on sharply reduced city funding. Only 5 gardeners staff the entire 4,500 acres of Brooklyn parkland. This may be why a once vibrant Bay Ridge recreation spot now looks like a virtual graveyard. In 2003, John J. Carty Park received an A grade on the New Yorkers for Parks report card, but neglect has left the park barren and empty with nothing but a failing grade. Lack of maintenance has left this Bensonhurst man furious over the condition of his park.
Basically, this park is a landfill. It's a bunch of garbage here. No one's playing basketball. There's only handball players. There's a baseball field and no one's playing in it. It's terrible. What kind of park is this?
Basketball hoops without nets are leaving the courts empty. Even the baseball field has been left to the dogs. But downtown Brooklyn's Columbus Park may serve as an example for these fast-failing fields. It gets more funding than the other parks because of its prime location in Brooklyn's upscale business district. The park scored an A+ on the New Yorkers for Parks report card. Visitors are pleased with their park.
It's calm in a place of chaos. It's a beautiful park. They should keep it up.
I think it's really nice. I like the flowers and the fountain.
Columbus Park is one of the few that made the grade, but parks like this in Brooklyn are few and far between. If your neighborhood park looks like it needs a facelift, take action by calling Mayor Bloomberg's Community Assistant Unit at 212-788-0268. I'm Adam Wellickson reporting at Columbus Park in downtown Brooklyn for Brooklyn Cable News.
A Brooklyn police officer shot last month when he tried to stop a drug dealer is getting a promotion to detective. Patrick Caprice was shot 5 times trying to break up a marijuana deal in Brownsville. He was first shot 3 times by the suspect, but then managed to return fire before being shot twice more. The drug dealer escaped, but later committed suicide.
An 11-year-old girl has been arrested for allegedly stealing handbags and cell phones out of unattended strollers in Brooklyn's Carroll Park. The child was charged with jostling, a misdemeanor, but police suspect she was working for a Fagin-like adult. Recently, crime in the Carroll Gardens neighborhood has risen 17%.
Movies are famous for their special effects, daring plots, and catchy quotes. Recently, the American Film Institute released its top 100 lines. CNN's Jeannie Most asked some moviegoers to act out their favorite famous lines.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Talking to me?
Sits down and writes a picture. They think the actors make it up as they go along.
Shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear,
I don't give a damn. But nowadays they would say another word.
And those wonderful people out there in the dark.
I'm ready for my close-up.
I'm ready for my close-up.
go ahead. Make my day.
Oh, yeah. Make my day.
You gotta say it with feeling.
Make my day.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Stuff that dreams are made of. Huh? Is looking at you, kid.
Your favorites. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I'm making an offer.
I don't think you can handle the truth. Yeah, that was a good one, right?
You're good. Yeah. You're better than Jack.
You can't handle the truth.
Like fetch. so fetch.
It's adorable. Oh, it's so fetch.
Spy says, don't worry. You are protected by the enormity of your stupidity. That should, is that in there?
It's not.
It should be in there.
It
That should be like
there.
right up at the top. That's too high.
Bond. James Bond.
English accent. Bond. James Bond.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I'll have what she's having.
That's a great scene.
Now, if you're a really good actor, you could do the orgasm part.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I've been trying to get...
I have the baby. Obviously, something must have happened.
Show me the money. Houston, we have a problem.
You just put your lips together and blow.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Can I get you to do that one for me?
Just try. I'll get you, my pretty.
Now, that was a line that I used on my sister every night before she went to sleep to scare her to death.
I'll get you, my pretty. And your little dog, too.
Coming up, a cool place to take the kids this summer. Plus, in Coney Island, a tsunami comes ashore on the 4th of July. Next, when Brooklyn Cable News returns.
Give me an A. Give me an E. Give me an O. And I can go and I can do. Here I go. Okay, but we're on.
For more info, go to OperationGraduation.com.
Every day, online predators make their way into homes uninvited and unnoticed. Help delete online predators. To learn what you can do to protect your kids' online life, visit cybertipline.com.
AIDS has killed more children worldwide than there are in all the grade schools in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Washington, Atlanta, and Miami combined. The time to do something is now. The place is apathyisLethal.org.
There's There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please, help give them a time to remember.
The 4th of July just isn't complete without barbecues, fireworks, and Nathan's hot dog eating competition. Kojo Easton Davis was in Coney Island, where this year's winner was no wiener.
For the 5th straight year, Japan's Teruko Kobayashi captured his yellow mustard belt in the 90th annual Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest in Coney Island. Nathan's mascot, Frankster, and Uncle Sam joined the estimated 25,000 people to watch the 144-pounder. Kobayashi defeated 11 challengers by waffling down and nauseating 49 hot dogs and buns in 12 minutes. Kobayashi's technique involves thrusting his head and wiggling his hips to keep the red hots down. He failed to break his own world record of 53.5 francs and buns set last year. Kobayashi's nearest opponent was the 100-pound Korean-American Sonia Thomas, also known as a Black Widow. She devoured 37 hot dogs for second place, and third place went to rookie Joey Chestnut of California, who ate 32. Kobayashi retained the championship belt, received a trophy, and most importantly, a year's supply of hot dogs. Afterwards, Kobayashi pulled up his shirt to reveal a swollen stomach to the adoring fans. The contest has been a 4th of July tradition at Coney Island since 1916. This is Kojo Easton Davis for BNC News.
In Coney Island, summer is bringing a new exhibit of tropical sea life to the aquarium. Shamina Islam paid a visit and found out under the sea is the place to be.
Now that Glover's Reef opened at the New York Aquarium in Coney Island, New Yorkers don't need to leave the 5 boroughs to catch a glimpse. The exhibit, which opened June 7th, features more than 35 different types of fish from the Caribbean, including rays, eels, and sharks. Dive Safety Officer Richard Blakefine gives us an idea of what these exotic sea creatures actually eat.
We feed them on what are actually thawed, frozen, restaurant-quality fish, capelin, squid, herring, and a little thing called mysis, which is a very small little pieces of fish, or actually they're small animals, and we actually place them into the exhibit at different times and in different locations, so everybody gets a chance to eat.
It's not just Brooklynites who come to experience the exhibit. 16-year-old Jessica Perpignan traveled from Queens to catch a glimpse.
The exhibit's really cool, and it helps me learn about all the fishes and all the animals in the ocean.
The New York Aquarium is located on Surf Avenue and is easily accessible via subway lines, including the F and the Q trains to West 8th Street. You like the fishes here?
Yeah.
Is this your first time here?
Yes.
So why take a trip to the Caribbean when the lush sea life of the Belize Coral Reefs can be found right here in Brooklyn? In Coney Island, I'm Shamina Islam reporting for Brooklyn Cable News.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about him. It's so much fun, whether we're talking man to man.
You don't need to be bigger than life to be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad.
Hey, kid, what's shaking? Besides me.
Dad, there's something wrong with the fridge.
What? Ooh, a snack.
Got energy hogs in your house? Now you have the power to do something about them. Log on to energyhog.org. Because nobody likes an energy hog.
Hey, they got Charlie! Yeah, who cares?
And that's the way it is for this edition of Brooklyn Cable News. I'm Amy Celestin.
And I'm Hila Levy. This was the last broadcast of Brooklyn Cable News for the summer. BCN is a student production of the Broadcast Journalism Program in the TV Radio Department of Brooklyn College. We'll be back again next summer with another edition of BCN. Thank you and goodbye.